So I asked AI to create the best England team from 2004 to the 2024 team and generate the best starting lineup and the formation. Now, this all being said, I had nothing to do with this besides typing in, comparing the two, who would be the ultimate team. And today's video, I want to show you what AI gave me, what you think about this squad, and how well do you think this squad would actually do in a tournament, because I think this is a pretty good squad. Now, I will give you a few of the points where I think maybe possibly it should change, but if not, I want to know what you guys think, so comment down when you see this squad. So let's hop in to the squad formation, because again, I want to show you exactly who we're going to be having here. Now, in the goalkeeping position, it was between David James and Pickford. I think both players are fairly good, but Pickford was the one that did get the head above David James, which overall, I think with what we've seen with Pickford in not just this term, but tournaments before for England, he has been the better goalkeeper, and it does make sense, even though David James was an outstanding goalkeeper for England. And yes, there's Simon and there's a few other goalkeepers that have come and gone through England, but we're just comparing these two guys. So right back, we're going to go right across. And again, we're going to kind of zip through this and talk about this squad and where there is some better potential. But again, let's zip through it. So the right back, this was between Gary Neville and Kyle Walker. And surprisingly, this is where I had my first one where I thought for sure this was going to be Gary Neville who's going to win this one. But we actually got Kyle Walker, and it does make sense with his pace and what he does bring going forward. But I think people forget how good Gary Neville was, and we will talk about that in a little bit longer in this video. Next, we're looking at our CBs. Now, again, these are a few different options. Again, AI just generated the CBs, not mattering where the positions were and who they gave me. So again, you may be like, that doesn't even make sense. Again, going off AI, not my own predictions here. So the first one would be Terry over John Stones, which again does make complete sense with how good John Terry was. I guess he's not even in the system, so we're just going to leave that one blank apparently, because I thought he was in the system. But John Terry over John Stones, which makes total sense. The other CB we're looking at is Rio Ferdinand, who I'm assuming is also not in. Oh, he is in here. So kind of questionable why John Terry's not in here, because if Rio Ferdinand's here, you would think Terry would be here as well. Let me just double check. Maybe. Nope. All right, so we're going to leave that one blank. But those are your CB pairings. Left back, though, what we were looking at here, this was between Cole and Trippier, which, I mean, this really shouldn't be a surprise, though, and I probably actually have to put Ashley Cole in because of so many Coles. Yeah, exactly. This, again, with what this guy brings, arguably the best left back to ever play for England. Now, again, I know we've had a few different left backs, but this guy, if he was still playing, this would make England the ultimate team. They would have every position locked down. But again, when he started playing to a retirement, he's not capable of playing now, but man, this guy was fun to watch. Now, midfield, this is where it gets very interesting, because if you do recall, Scholes, Lampard, Stevie G, three phenomenal players in the midfield, and respectively all great players for their clubs, but playing for international definitely struggled. And actually surprising what AI generated out here, because in the holding position, which does make sense, because not that Scholes is really the guy that should be playing here, Rice is the guy that was picked out of AI, which I think this does make total sense, and I think this midfield would boss any team. The other two players, surprisingly, Steven Gerrard did get the nod over Manu, which again does make sense as well. This guy, again, not even being a Liverpool fan, but you have to credit where credit's due, and he should be in this line. But surprisingly, Frank Lampard does not make this list through AI. We get Bellingham, which, yes, you could argue how great of a player Jude Bellingham is, but the amount of credentials that Frank Lampard has, being second on the Ballon d'Or to Ronaldinho, questionable on this one. But at the same time, I think Jude Bellingham's potential is actually higher than Frank Lampard, and therefore, again, this is a good selection for your midfield. Look at this. I mean, I think anyone would be more than happy to have these three guys in your midfield. Now, attacking third, we're going to start on that right wing. Now, David Beckham was the option over Saka. Now, this one, again, I do understand the logic behind it, the set piece taking, what he offers, and again, could really help England in any crunch time. Really did elevate this team throughout some of their lows. but I think Saka would have been the better option here. But AI, we're going to keep going with you with what you did here. We're going to hop to the left wing. Now, this was between Foden and Wayne Rooney, and Wayne Rooney did get the nod here as well, which, again, I'm not going to say much about how accurate that is because Wayne Rooney is a special player and should be in this lineup. And up top, it was between Harry Kane and Michael Owen, but Kane did get the nod, which overall I think does make sense as well here. So this was your starting lineup through AI, and then again, this should be John Terry, but again, we couldn't select him because he's not in the system, which again, I don't understand why. But this is AI's best 11 between 2004 and 2024. I do want to know, what do you guys think about this lineup? My only few players I would really question, and again, this is maybe me just being a little biased here, not a Manchester United fan or anything, but I think Gary Neville should be here in this position. And I may, and this is where the bias does kick in, put Frank Lampard here and possibly kick out Stevie G and put Jude Bellingham there. But when you do compare both these players, what both Jude and Frank offer, both do almost the exact same thing and very crucial in running into the box, scoring massive goals. And like I said, I think Jude Bellingham does have the potential to go above Frank Lampard. But if we're just comparing where they are right now, I would give the nod to Frank Lampard. But again, I totally understand why Jude Bellingham goes here. The only other one too, Michael Owen might be the better option, a fully fit Michael Owen, not anyone that's been dealing with injuries. A young Michael Owen might be better than Harry Kane up top just because, again, all these guys playing balls and through balls onto Michael Owen is going to just dominate and terrorize the defense. David Beckham whipping in some crosses. I mean, still going to connect with Harry Kane. But this team, just look at that. I gotta say this is a fairly good team. I think AI did an overall good job on picking a team, which that is not always the case that AI can do something like that because, like I said, sometimes AI is just completely off its rocker. But this team, I do want to think, what do you guys think? Is this the best starting 11 you could see for England between these 2 years? Again, there's different eras that we could bring different players in, but just between 2004 and 2024, I think this is the best team you could possibly get. So comment down below. I will get to those as soon as I possibly can. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe down below. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you in our next video.